because the target's always moving and we're trying to aspire for more, do we stop enough in that kind of circle and say, wow, like, great job?
I agree. My dad was a GP, and so and we like, came from a really small town. Like I grew up in a really small town. So and like back in the day, like I would watch my dad walk down the street from the high school classroom because he'd go to a house call. And so like my dad delivered all of my friends. Like
Oh,
so it was like so back to what you were saying about like I don't think I want to run into my doctor at the grocery store or whatever. Like
yeah.
that's that's my whole, like, childhood. Everybody was my dad was everybody's doctor.
What was that like for you though? Like, was that weird? Like,
No, it was kind of cool, because he was so friendly and, like, everybody loved him, and he was an old school doctor, and, like, this is kind of, like, a sad part, but, like, when he passed away, like, the whole town came to his funeral. Like, it was next level, like, people, and it made you think, like, "Oh, he made an impact on people." Like, but anyways, yeah. It wasn't weird. I guess I didn't know any different. I just thought everybody's kind of life was like that.
right. Well, that would certainly be a very unique perspective.
Yeah. I do have a naturopath though, and I love that side of it. Like I love the preventative side, I guess, of naturopath.
I've often said to friends that if I had a career redo and I knew more about this, that I would have really enjoyed taking the courses, like, to become a naturopath.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Do you have any careers? Like, do you have any, like, if I had done this again, I would have done whatever?
I always wanted to be something. So like my whole entire family is doctors. Like my
Wow.
dad and all of his siblings are doctors, and then all my cousins, a lot of them are in medicine and I'm not. And so I was always like, "Oh, I want to be something." When someone says, "What do you do?" I can say, "I'm a teacher," or "I'm a doctor," or "I'm a lawyer," or like, "I'm an engineer." And I never like that, but now that I'm through, I'm like, "No, I don't really care." I
Mhm.
kinda like where I landed and sorta how I got here.
Sure. I mean,
And
don't
there's
get
a
me
lot
wrong.
more
I like it
structure to
too,
those
but
things.
yeah. But you don't ever have a if I would you like I would also think being a real estate agent would be fun. Do you have any other dream jobs?
I am a real estate agent. I'm a licensed real estate agent.
You are?
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not good at it. I like the marketing side of real estate, and so I thought, "Oh, there's a hole in the industry." So when I was trying to figure out how to leave my old job, I was like, "Oh, maybe I could do real estate." And when we bought the farm, my real estate agent at the time, my real estate agent, now one of my very best friends, but, I was like, I don't know, she's one of those people that you meet and you're like, "Oh, I'm supposed to meet this person in this lifetime," like, was one of those, and so I got my real estate license and then quickly realized I'm not a great negotiator and I'm not good at sales, and so but I do a lot of marketing for real estate agents, so I keep my license because it keeps me, like, current. So, yeah,
Okay.
I've, like, sold, like, 2 houses in 15 years.
That's so
It's
cool. I didn't
not
know
a
that
great
about
record.
you. See,
Well,
you have different, you don't just aspire to have different careers. You're like, yeah, I just went out and did it.
I feel like what I'm good at is taking tests. So, like, again, same thing, I think we've talked about it before. Like, I don't retain a lot, but I am a great test taker, so I think it could have been a lot of things, but I don't know if I'd been super successful at any of them.
Do you still have to do you have to write the LSATs if you want to be a lawyer still? I feel like was it MCAT when we were younger? Do those
Yeah,
things still exist?
I think so. I think
Did you
so.
ever write any of those?
I had no interest in medicine at
Oh,
all.
is that because your dad did it?
I don't know. My dad said to me when I was deciding to go to university, again, this is far too much information about me, but like I had horses back then. And so my horses lived up here, like in the GTA, but I lived in Windsor. And so I was choosing universities that were close to like farms that I would ride out of. And so my dad was like, apply to different places for different things. So my parents both went to Western. My dad went to med school at Western. So I applied there for science. And then I applied like other places for business. And so but when push came to shove, I was like, "Yeah, I need to go to business school, not." medical school. So
Not medical. So you did was he okay with that?
yeah, he was actually more than okay with it. Like he said, you can do more with a business degree than like if you're not super passionate about being in medicine, it's probably better to go into business. Yeah. Well, what about you? So you were in school and wanted to be a teacher?
Yeah, no, I did not want to be a teacher. I had this again, I'm going to share another personal story is I finished school, undergrad, never wanted to be a teacher. My mother was a teacher and a principal and I was like, I am not going to do that. And I tried to do some different things in life, like different job, trying to get a job at the time, and it was hard. And yeah, my parents had a conversation with me about you either need to go back to school or you need to go back to find a full time job. And I think they expected me to do it right away. And I'm a pretty high achiever, but I couldn't get a job. And
Oh
so then I
wow.
was like, what do I do? So I guess I'm going to teachers college. And so I
Uh,
just applied for a bachelor of ed and I did it. It was lovely. Like, don't get me wrong. And to this day, I even was saying that to my team last week that I think I learned more about how to manage teams and have been more successful in my business life because of that small
ah,
experience that I had in education. Because if you think about it, managing people in a meeting is similar to when a teacher manages a large classroom. You have all the different personalities. Some people are getting it, some people aren't. Some people are asking questions, some people aren't. Some people are criticizing you or not. Like it's all happening. These teachers have to manage so much all at the same time. And many of these kids are a lot younger, so they don't even have self regulation yet. So if you can be a good teacher, I actually think you become automatically an exceptional leader in business. But yeah, and that's when I started teaching even I realized early on that this isn't what I want to do. This is
ah.
yeah. And then I pivoted. So I think see for me I when I look back and not talking about regrets when we were talking with Dr. Wiley is I do think that people do have regrets and maybe people have I wish I had made a different choice or what had happened if I had made a different choice. I do believe that there are pivotal points in your life that happens. And that is one for me. I mean, that is going back a long time is if I had the voice that I have today in meetings that I carry with why I think something should be different or change. If I had had that voice with my parents way back when on the front porch when they were telling me what I needed to do, and at that point I just said, "Sure," I didn't have the ability to stand up. Would I be in a different place? Or was that all meant to be because I still ended up here? I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
It's I don't know. She mentioned it too about sometimes life does kind of put things in front of you and then new things appear. I don't know. What did you think about that kind of statement when she was talking about it?
Yeah, I believe in all of that. I think because I would say I don't have a regret, but I think I don't know what I should have put more effort into what I wanted my career to look like. I just didn't. Like, it'll be fine. And then if it isn't, and I always look at like my husband in the same way, like went to school, walked out of university, walked into where he works now, and is like 28 years later. That just would crush my soul. Like I just don't have the personality to be able to do that. And his job's hard and all the things, but I'm like, oh, I get bored. But I do think a regret is like probably I should have put more intention into what I was going to do. But it worked out fine
But is that
so
also
far.
because you were prioritizing? You meant to mention horses. Like, were just horses a higher priority for you at the time?
Always.
Oh, still is, right.
Yeah. But, like, irrationally, like, it's probably not the greatest. But you know what? I say that, and I'm sure it's the same with other sports as well. It's like my nephews played hockey and, like, everybody. So 40 years later, they're still my best friends. They're half of my business comes from that industry. Like, it's impactful beyond, I mean, the horses themselves too, right?
Well, I do agree with you that I do think there are moments in your life that people are put in front of you for a reason and you don't always know why they're there and you still make a choice whether you want to follow that route or not or do something but I think everybody if you really thought hard about it has at least a handful of people that they can say in their lives yeah they were supposed to come in at this point they might not always stay, but they made some pivotal shift for me in
Absolutely.
who I am.
Well, my friend Sarah that I was talking about, exactly that. Like I knew that moment. I didn't know
Mhm.
why, but I knew. Same with you, right? Like I didn't wh- why would we have crossed paths in any other situation? I never
Yeah,
go to Toronto. Like we wouldn't have physically crossed paths.
yeah.
But
No, it's so true. But
and you
even
just
when we
either trust
met
it or you don't, right?
yeah, but
Like
even when we met, like, there were so many people there, like, there were no real reason for us to really start chatting beyond, the usual, like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Polite, and then you move on to the next person. I agree. We were supposed to meet, Heather.
yep, it's destiny.
Yeah. But yes, back to my front porch. It is often a conversation that I have in my head. And not that I'm like throwing my parents under the bus. I mean, that's a whole other conversation where I'm sure many people have some things to say there,
It's a
but
bit about generational too, though, don't you
yeah.
think? Like my
Yeah.
nephew went to school, and I remember this. So they're my sisters are older than I am, so my nephews are like older than. Anyways, he was in kinesiology, and then he was going to teachers college, and then he didn't want to do it anymore, and so he was just about done. And my mom was like adamant that he finish, and I was like, he doesn't want to, and he's fine. And she was just, it was just her generation was like, you just don't not finish. But
Not
I mean,
finish not finish, and you had to be a title, didn't you? Like, that was also with my
yeah,
parents, an engineer or a
yeah,
teacher or a doctor. You were something when you graduated. You had to
yep.
have a title.
Well, and he didn't finish and he followed his own path and he is like a very successful business owner and he just got married last year and like he has built this amazing life for himself and it's just different, right? So it's and I think it's going to happen again. I don't have kids, but like more and more where like there's there's just there's not five jobs to choose from. You're not like doctor, lawyer, you know, there's jobs that haven't even been thought of yet.
Yeah, I don't know if that creates an identity crisis for people or if that's just now okay because you don't it's almost like I don't think you need the stamp anymore. Like you don't need to have the stamp that says engineer. But see, I remember in high school, we had these sit down meetings with the guidance counselor, and it was like a list of job titles. And it was like, which one of these do you interest you? What do you want to be on the list? Naturopath wasn't on the list. Real estate agent wasn't on the list. It was a pretty small list. I wonder what the list is today. Influencer, content creator, YouTuber.
Right?
I wonder what it is.
The world is your oyster now. I mean, you can literally
Yeah.
make up a job.
Yeah, it's probably more like you type in or you talk into AI and say, "These are some of my qualities and characteristics. What should I be, AI?"
Yeah. Well, and I think too, your personality changes. Like again, this is just my thoughts, but like who I was at 17 deciding and who I am now, like what are the chances you're even remotely the same?
But see, isn't that the biggest shift that maybe generationally and hopefully for the generations ahead is that it's okay now to be more than one thing and you don't need to sit in the same job and be miserable or happy. Maybe some people are super
Yeah.
happy in one job,
My
but
husband loves that the sameness of it all. Like he's,
right.
I don't say he loves like every minute of every day, but he loves it's an identity for him.
And I wonder if that leads to happiness and like thinking about what she was saying about that circle and that wheel of, and then as you still begin to hit targets and take risks, and then you feel better, and then it's this self fulfilling engine and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I wonder if that also links to the success of who you want to become and who you are in that journey. Does it get easier or does it get harder, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't honestly, I don't know.
It's both now. Because it's like the target is moving all the time now because it can, which is wonderful. But because the target's always moving and we're trying to aspire for more, do we stop enough in that kind of circle and say, wow, like great job? Don't, we're always aspiring for more, aspiring for change, aspiring to be better. I don't want to be stressed. I do want to sleep at night. I want to run the half marathon. I want to do all do. But how often do we stop and be like, oh, yeah, That was really good that I did that. And now I'll continue on.
Yeah, well, and I think different people celebrate things different too, right? Where and what I celebrated 10 years ago and what I celebrate now are totally different. Like before it was like, how much money can you make? And now it's like, how much time can I make for myself?
Yeah,
Right?
so true.
How much energy can I get back? Or really even like the enjoyment of a project as opposed to just getting to the end of a project. I
Yeah.
think those things all change.
I agree. Time is everything now for me. Like that is the most valuable thing. And it used to be all, I mean, well, still about money. I like money. But before I would be like, yeah, I'll do whatever. And it was like, how can I squeeze everything in to make sure that I can make the most amount of money in this period of time? But now if I can take my girls somewhere or those types of experiences make me feel great also that they are just as valuable now as the chance to find a trade or to make a little extra. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think that's a big shift. Do you think you had a moment where in your life that shifted and changed?
No, because I think it shifts and changes, still shifts and changes for me regularly, where I'm like, okay, we just need to make money. And then I'm like, okay, I need to make time. I think it's the never ending sort of conundrum of when is enough. My husband always says that. How much is enough money? And I'm like, it's a very good question. But it's not the money, like I don't it's more the like achievement of something, right? That's where I get an identity because I don't say like I'm an aerospace engineer, but if you like create new things that are having an impact, that's achievement.
I think I like with this podcast, I think I have more of a desire now to feel like what you talked about with your dad. I want to make an impact in a positive way where either it sparks somebody to make a decision or a choice that maybe was different, or it leaves something where someone is thinking about it, or it's that same it's the me from so long ago that sat on the front porch that wished I had enough confidence to take a different choice, but I didn't have the confidence yet. If I could maybe help somebody else in their journey, it's about impact. Do you think your dad knew that when he was doing his job, how much impact he was making on people's lives?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, it'd be so interesting to ask, right? Because I mean, doctors do
Yeah.
generally make money. They do well. I think I'm not one, but for him, to have also known the impact he was making in a community and how many people relied on him, I wonder if that was something that we were talking about, like fueled his energy or caused that feeling of like this was too much.
I also feel like they're kind of one and the same, right? Like you can't have one without the other a little. Like it would fuel you, but then also exhaust you. Like my dad was in a time where he was on call. So the phone would ring in the middle of the night. He would get up and go and do things. Like it's different, I think, being a doctor now. But like, so you're exhausted. He would come home for dinner and then go back to the office and see patients at night. And so, like, there was a cost to our family of like the amount of time we got to spend with him. But also I got to do a lot of things because he worked really hard. And so I think there's both sides of the same coin.
Probably something good for all of us to remember too, right? Because we're all under pressure wherever we are in our journey. That there is that push down to feel to add stress and pressure, but also the reliance that you're helping other people. I mean, I'm sure that we can all relate. Wow, I feel like we got really deep here today.
Well, Erin was great. She brought a lot of interesting perspective, I think, to the conversation.
Yeah, I did. I think it was a really good reminder when when she first started. Do you ever find this when you're listening to podcasts? At least I do. Like I can have like almost a gut reaction to some of them. Like I feel like butterflies or tingling because I can connect to what they're saying so much. And she started talking at the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, I really needed to hear this. Do you have the same?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. I don't know. That's
Awesome.
why I love podcasts. But anyhow, thanks for sharing some deep
Yeah,
stories with
more
us
about
today,
me.
Heather.
Until next time.
Until next time.